Lead the bull with the cape around past his body. Okay. What he has to do is control the charge of the bull to go around past him. And the bull follows the moving object. For that reason, the matador has to stand still. He can't move his legs. If you move your leg, the bull sees that movement and attacks your leg. So you stand still and you control the charge with your cape. These first passes are when the matador will get to know the bull a little bit, judge his reaction speed and level of aggression, because all bulls are different. Then you have the first third of the bullfight. The first third is when the two male horses come in, the picadores. The horses wear protective padding, and the rider has a kind of lance. It's a long wooden pole, and it has a little spike on the end, just 2.5 inches. It's called the puyas. One horse stands in section 8, the other one opposite section 3. And the matador will use his capote to lead that bull towards one of the horses. Bull sees the horse and he will charge, and when he arrives at the horse's side, the picador puts the lance down to the bull's shoulder. They do this, I'm afraid, to weaken the bull a little bit. This is necessary because it's a really big, muscular animal, weighs at least half a ton, so they have to weaken the bull a little bit, otherwise it would be impossible to kill the bull at the end. That said, it's really important not to weaken that bull too much. If you injure him too much, he'll become weak, he'll become tired, and he won't charge. So the matador has to watch very carefully to decide when they've done enough damage to the bull. And actually the picador cannot move the lance. The bull pushes as much as he wants to push, and his injury should be relative to his strength. Okay. Horses then go out, and he got the second third, when the banderilleros come in. They have sticks called banderillas. It's like a wooden stick, and it's got coloured paper on and a little blade on the stick. The first banderillero goes to the centre of the ring. He holds his sticks, okay? The bull comes running towards him. As the bull comes running, the banderillero will run towards the bull, but in a curved line. Two come together and they cross paths. When they cross, when the bull's head is here, the banderillero has to jump in the air and put the sticks down over the horns to the bull's shoulders.
No.
The timing of that's crucial. If you get the timing wrong, then you're going to get caught on the horns. And in this ring, 2 men have died doing this, so very dangerous. Why do they do it? There's a few reasons. 1, this keeps the bull active and moving around the ring. 2, keeps the bull focused and engaged. 3, gives the matador a chance to observe that bull's behaviour again, the way he charges and the way he uses his horns. For example, every bull has a preference to use one horn more than the other, like being right-handed or left-handed. If you prefer your right horn, you're more likely to hook on that side and more likely to catch a matador on that side. Obviously, a matador wants to know that, okay? And in the final part of the bullfight, the final third, called the faena, the matador comes back into the ring with that bull, and he'll perform sequences of passes with the bull around his body. This is when he will display all his technical skill, artistic skill, bravery, and level of understanding of his bull. How it works is, it's got a different cape now. It's called a muleta. It's much smaller and it's held in one hand. It's the red cape. And the matador will approach the bull, and what he'll do is, as he presents the cape to the bull, he gives a little toque, a shake of the cape. The bull will see that movement and come running. The bull comes running, he then leads the bull with his cape around past the body. The bull goes through here and turns around. One fifth step. Second pass, this way, okay, through here. What I'm doing now are just really basic straight lines, okay, with the right hand. They're called derechazos, right hand pass. You also have to do left hand passes. Same with the left hand, they're called naturales. You lead the ball in straight lines at first. What matador will do is, he'll incorporate different artistic moves to make this more beautiful, okay, and swirls of the cape, and the idea is to impress the crowd. So you make it beautiful, and you add in different levels of danger and risk. On a basic level, that's the difference between passing a bull past a body at full arm's length out here, or passing a bull to a body here, okay? Passing a bull that close to your body requires a lot more technical skill, precision, and also an understanding of how that bull thinks. If you bring a bull close to your body here, obviously you're at much more risk, and therefore there's more merit in that kind of bullfighting. The best kind of bullfighting is when a matador brings the ball really slowly around his body in a curved line, okay? You get these very elegant positions, big bull comes running, and very carefully takes them around the body, okay? When they do this, it's very beautiful. I can't do it like they can do it, but it's something which they compare to ballet, okay? A ballet in which the dancer is dancing with death. Make a mistake, and that bull will catch you, okay? This performance, this ends when the matador does kill the bull, I'm afraid. This involves a very narrow blade sword. It's designed to be a very quick, deathly animal. It involves the matador standing in front of the bull. In his left hand, he lowers his cape. In the right hand, raises his sword. As he shakes the cape, the bull comes running towards him here. The bull's coming straight for his body here. So matador then has to prepare because he has to jump to avoid the horns. You shake the cape, the bull comes running, you jump, beat the bull through with your left hand with this cape. As the bull goes through here, enter with the sword. Now, you enter with the sword between the shoulder blades, and it should go straight to the heart. That's a bit horrible, but it's the quickest deathly animal. As an audience, we hope it's quick, okay? And if a bull does die quickly, the audience cheer. It's a bit of a weird feeling because you see the animal die and the cheer, and you're like, this is a bit of a weird conflict of emotions. But what they're cheering for is, number one, the matador's success. This technique is so difficult, and it requires bringing a bull right towards your body, so it's the highest moment of danger in the bullfight. Get it right, and he succeeds. Get it wrong, and he's failed. The audience will be annoyed. They will whistle. They will shout. Also, all that excitement in the ring is just immediately disappears with a fail if he fails with the sword. When I say fail, I mean if the sword doesn't enter properly, hits a bone, for example. This part of the bullfight, like I say, is a key part of the bullfight, and not only does it define the matador's success or his bravery, success or failure, but it also is a moment when the matador and bull run towards each other, and when they meet, one of them's going to die, okay? Usually the bull, but it has been the matador in the past, okay? Like Manolete, he died entering with the sword. It's just so important to recognise at this moment the matador does risk his life to that bull. Now, there are 6 bulls in a bullfight, so the same thing happens 6 times. That said, every bull is different, and every matador has its own style of performance. For some people, this event has a very high value culturally, artistically, intellectually. It's very profound. What we're watching here is life and death. When done with artistry, it's very beautiful. Sometimes it's less beautiful, okay? Other people, this event is nothing more than animal cruelty or animal mistreatment. And I'm not going to tell you what to think, because that's up to you. I mean, I think it is cruel to a degree, but I'm a fan of bullfighting. I find it extraordinary to watch. The skill of the bullfighter, for one thing, and also the bulls. I mean, I think bulls are incredible. Any bullfight fan will tell you they actually have a real respect for bulls, because the bullfight is actually a display of all that bull's bravery and strength and dignity. And we say his death is a very heroic, very noble death in the ring. Okay? Alright. Okay. We're going to carry on now. We're going to go downstairs again and walk around the pylon. You have to come back up this way.
สนามบอลดีๆเลยเหมือนไหมแต่ข้างในเย็นนะเขาคงสร้างไว้ให้มันกันความร้อนโอ้นี่ไงทางที่มาถึงว่า enters ใช่ไหมสวยเนาะร้อนตายเลยฮะเขาที่ขึ้นไปนั่งไหม Can I go sit?
Yeah.
Good.
You want to go and take out? Okay, so from here I'm going to point out a few different parts of the bull ring. Now the bull gates are those 3 doors opposite us at the moment. There's 3 little gates together. These are called toriles. We're going to walk around past those in a minute. Where we are now is called the Callejon. Okay, the Callejon is the passageway that goes all the way around the ring, used by the bullfighters to run around and come at different access points. Access points in here are called buladeros. There's only 4 of them in the ring. The main one is this one just here, okay, by the matador, called the buladeros principal. And around the outside here we have buladeros for the authorities of the ring, okay? The authorities are, well, the management team here in Las Ventas. Here we've got the apoderados, that's the managers of the matadors. Photographers there, okay? Also, a veterinary team here. Vets are here to observe the bull's behaviour, okay? And also we have a medical team of doctors and surgeons in case any accidents happen. And they do happen, okay? Now, while we're in the shade, what we're going to do next is go around the bull gates that you can see opposite us. The bulls arrive at the bull ring 3 days before a bullfight, okay? They arrive in advance because the bulls come in a lorry from the countryside. They need a few days then to recover from the stress of that experience, okay? While they're here, also the veterinary team observe those bulls for those 3 days to be sure there's no defect with the bull, no physical defect. The bull must be in perfect health to come to a bull ring. So the veterinary team has to look for any problem with any limbs, any visual defect, any horn damage, any injury. That bull cannot come into the ring, okay? There's always reserve bulls here to replace the bull that has an injury. Now, the bulls spend 3 days in the open-air pens at the back of the bull ring. And then on the day of the bullfight, what happens is they go into individual rooms which are behind the gates we can see here. They're called the chiqueros. And those are darkened rooms where the bulls are intended to sleep, so they come into the ring wide awake and full of energy, okay? Now there's also different kinds of bulls. Different breeds of bulls have different physical qualities and characteristics. Also they have different psychological qualities and characteristics. Bulls from Andalusia tend to be a lot more muscular and heavy. Bulls from the north are lighter weight, smaller bulls. And in terms of character, well, some bulls are what we call very serious bulls. A serious bull comes to the bull ring and he's very focused on everything in the ring. He's very perceptive. That kind of bull learns what's going on. Other bulls come in and they're a bit more relaxed, they run around, they're more distracted, more alegre, okay? And different matadors prefer different kinds of breeds of bulls, okay? Alright, I'm going to carry on that round now. Sorry, bring out the shade again, we're going to walk around the Callejon. Mind your heads when you come out.
What? Photographers. Hello. Ngày nào này?
Sigue siendo extraordinario, pero aquí más aún. Aquí el público es muy exigente. De hecho, lo normal es que el torero mate al toro y ya después el público pida trofeos para los toreros o no. Aquí lo normal es que no. Y una vez ha ocurrido todo esto, la línea ya...
คนน้อยเนาะ 3 กลุ่ม
Okay, this part of the bull ring here is actually called the Puerta del Arrastre. It's where the bulls actually leave the bull ring, okay? What happens is a team of mules come in and they'll take the bulls out. The back of the bull ring is a whole butchering area because bulls and bullfights then go on to be sold for meat, okay? One thing that I would like to point out here is that normally we do breed animals like bulls and cows for meat, and they would normally live just 18 months on a farm and then get off to an abattoir. What actually happens with the bullfighting bulls is they have a longer life of 5 years, and they live in the wild and freedom, okay? So the length of life and quality of life is actually superior for bulls bred for bullfighting rather than just for the typical meat industry. They do then go on to be sold for meat, like I say, but I think is an interesting point to keep in mind when you consider the moral arguments for and against bullfighting. Okay? Alright, so we're going to carry on round.
มารูปแผงเลย
So these are the bull gates where the bulls do come running into the ring. Alright, we're going to carry on past here.
อ๋อเนี่ย3 ประ
No
ตู
bulls here at the moment, they will arrive on Thursday for Sunday's bullfight.
medicals
is called the Patio de Cuadrillas. And it's actually where the matadors and their teams wait before the bullfight begins. Now they arrive at the back of the bull ring about half an hour beforehand. When they arrive, they go straight into the chapel. Okay, every bullfighter will pray here before the fight starts. Then they wait in the section here, and they actually say it's the most difficult time in the life of a bullfighter. He's going to be very nervous here for a start, okay? The nerves begin to build. Also in this bull ring there's a real sense of responsibility to perform well, okay? It is the most important bull ring in the world. If you get a contract and perform here, a good performance will really boost your reputation and your career. A poor performance, however, will damage your reputation as a bullfighter. So if you come to this ring, you're going to have to do well, basically. It's make or break here. What happens in here? Well, they do a few interviews at this press area here. And then the bullfight starts at 7 o'clock this time of year and begins with an opening procession of all the bullfighters walking across the ring. Now, on the front row of that parade, you get your 3 matadors, okay? They line up on the front row and they're wearing the suits which have the gold embroidery on. It's called a suit of lights because the sun makes that suit sparkle. It's a suit made of silk, so it's very tight-fitting and there's no protection for bullfighting. Behind the matadors, you've got their teams, and they wear the suit with the silver embroidery or the jet black embroidery. Then you've got your horses. They walk in all together. As they enter the ring, they generally are crossing themselves. They're praying as they go in. Okay? Then they stand on the sand and they salute every member of the parade. They call this the part of the bullfight, paseillo, and what they say when it's bullfighters is a phrase which is very famous in Spain. It is que Dios reparta la suerte. May God divide the luck equally between us. Majority of bullfighters are religious, but some of them are superstitious, because that takes their lives in that ring, and anything can happen. So when they pray here in the chapel, what they're praying for is God's protection, and the bad luck will stay far away from them. Okay, carry on with this.
แล้วเหมือนกันอธิบายกฎการแข่งขันกีฬา
Now just here we're passing the entrance to the infirmary of the bull ring, okay, a very important part of any bull ring. Behind these doors there are actually 4 operating theatres, okay, and injuries are common, particularly in Las Ventas because here the bulls are bigger than anywhere else. And because the crowd here is so demanding, Matador must take more risks to impress this crowd. Now, if there is an injury, the Matador's team will then immediately help him. They will carry him out of the ring. There's a tunnel here from the bull ring to the infirmary, and they can attend to him in minutes. They operate within minutes, okay? Generally, injuries affect the thighs. In the bull charges, he lowers his head, and they are usually quite serious injuries. Now, if you come around the corner here,
Oh.
Okay. And I think you appreciate the kind of injuries an animal like that can inflict. I mean, he has horns, obviously. Also, bulls of this breed have a lot of muscle around their shoulder and neck, okay, which they use to lift their head, lift their horns. In the wild, they do fight each other. Now, this bull's name is Malacara. And Malacara was in a bullfight here in 2005. The matador who performed with him was called Ivan Vicente. And Malacara is a perfect example of a Spanish fighting bull. Basically because he was very brave. After he died, the fans all applauded him in the ring. He's also a particularly beautiful bull because of his colourings. And what happens in a bullfight is we celebrate not only a bull's bravery but also his beauty. So this is the perfect example of what bullfighting is all about showcasing and celebrating this animal here. Okay? And the bullfighters, they arrive at the main gates around here to the right. When they arrive, they go straight to the chapel, that section there on the corner. Okay? Now, this time of year we have bull fights every Sunday afternoon. If you're interested, the poster is here of our next bull fights. Also, before you go, before I leave you, I do invite you to fill out a questionnaire if you want any feedback of the tour, of the quality explanations, if you enjoyed it or not. Also, we have a mailing list if you want to join that, and we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, you can find us online if you want to follow us, okay? Alright, so thank you for coming. I have it in the group now, but I hope you enjoyed it. For me, always a pleasure, and when you want to leave, it's the main gate here on the right, okay?
Gracias.
Thank you very much. You're welcome. Take care.
Un lugar muy importante, entrada gratuita.